He's there.
I'm here.
Okay,
So should I, just for everyone that's watching this, so we're doing our 5 priorities that we want to focus on council in the next little bit. Just so we don't waste our CAO's time and efforts. So we're gonna, each of us do one idea and hopefully we have some repeats. So let's start with Councillor Austin.
first thing I want to mention then is the beach isn't included in this because it's been passed by council already.
I don't know, I think you could include that. What did we pass already in council to look
We
at?
do renovations on the beach and budget for it.
So all we passed so far, I believe, was to get the final legal agreements and bring it back. to
Yeah.
council.
So I think beach could be one
Should
thing.
be open.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll have to put it on. there.
Okay.
Okay, my first thing is a stop sign on Highway 7082, Gay Lane and Smith Street.
Where exactly?
I'm thinking
I
the same
want,
thing.
I want the stop sign on Gay Lane,
Where is that?
right at Dale Jefferson, down here, the two-way
Oh, and
stop.
McIntyre.
It should be a three-way.
Oh, it
stop.
should be a three-way. Yeah, I agree.
There's gonna be, I've had a few instances that are, I know other people have.
When you come up from the old school, straight up. to
When you
the
leave
tracks.
here and get to the stop sign, there's no stop sign on Gay Lane. And,
Yeah, they have the right of way.
yeah,
So they should all stop.
I think it should have been,
We should stop.
originally been a three-way stop. And it
Okay.
should be
Okay.
put to that. That's my suggestion. Number one.
Okay, Councillor McBain.
I want to look into the speed limit or speeding on Minto Street.
Can I second that? So me as well, that's on my list. I don't know, how 2 check marks.
Yeah. put it on screen.
Yeah, that's one of my.
Okay.
Yeah. Councillor McDonald,
Yes, full-time employees vacation be posted,
full-time employees,
vacation
vacation.
posted in the office.
Like, so that you know when people are off or how,
Then when they're holiday, I come sometimes to the office to see the clerk and then they're on holidays. At least I'll know what they're posted and then I'll probably get a call from their holidays.
I would just make a suggestion that that's a bit of a security issue if someone knows Melanie's everyone.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, I would just have an issue with that for security issues.
But
for
if
the
that was,
one-
if that was in the back though, like.
Not posted out to the public.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
In the office,
Oh, in the office?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
So we can see it,
in the office, okay,
counselors.
Yeah, councilors, okay, yeah. Not the public, you don't want the
No,
public.
no.
okay, sorry. I misunderstood
well,
you.
there's not, and we don't need to discuss it yet,
Yeah.
but. Just that if you're telling people when you're on vacation, then you're basically giving a small number of people when you could potentially not be at home too.
That too.
No, but just to us.
Yeah,
I'm not breaking into it. You got nothing.
no, no,
You got
but
dogs, more
no,
dogs.
I don't.
Great dogs.
exciting. I have a few big TVs. They can go, anyway. Councillor Despatie.
Hello. Well, I'd first like to say that I think this meeting was a fantastic idea. We have run into some issues where the meetings are a little bit longer than that maybe most people expect. So a special meeting to deal with some issues that we want to accomplish over the next 4 years is a good idea. And mine in particular, the first one, would be perhaps to increase our office staff on a part-time basis. The reason being, every time we as a council make a suggestion or look into doing something for our taxpayers, it increases the burden on our CAO. I think we've learned a small lesson from the unfortunate incident that happened in Baldwin where the township was left without anybody to really that knew anything about the operations. So I'm suggesting maybe a little bit of cross-training from our present employees right now, with the addition of a part-time that could help alleviate with some of the workload. So that's my first suggestion.
All right, so increase office staff. I already did Minto Street with Counselor McVeigh. Do you have a second one?
Oh, you're not gonna give us.
Well, I said mine was also Minto Street, so it's one of my 5.
My second one is the, old number 2 ball field. I'm suggesting we rip out all the hazards there and keep the grass maintained. I don't think it takes too many hours a year to maintain it. And, as far as the fencing, it should be all over there. It's a hazard. If somebody gets hurt in there, it's a liability on the town.
Counselor McVeigh.
I kind of have, I have one just like in this, along the same lines as, Counselor Austin. It's just the ball field, just reforming, reusing, especially the front, like it's, I don't know, you turn it into a dog park, do something with it, because it is a pretty area. It sees lots of traffic. I just can't figure what we do with it.
Yeah, no, yeah, and we would just go to our CEO and try, try to come up with ideas and, yeah. Counselor McDonald.
Yes, Mike and Linda might think I'm picking on her, but these are things that I've been a little bit interested in. Full-time employees overtime. I like to have if they have overtime, have a list in there, but I know in the past, I used to go in there and they used to show me their overtime and the time they've taken off, corresponds. So I would like to see that, straight after 35 hours, they work at the office with staff work 35 hours. And I gotta watch, can't name names in public works, they work 40 hours. So, but on our bylaw, employees policy bylaw of 2009, I think it's -4. I'm not sure that you get straight time until you get 44 hours, and then after that you get 40. Okay, I just want to check.
That's correct. That bylaw has been repealed with our new HR bylaw, but it's along the same lines.
Okay, and I think we got to be accountable to the taxpayers, because and the reason why I brought that up is because I get called and say, how come somebody's not at the office that day? Well, I wouldn't tell them anyway. I said, well, maybe they got overtime, maybe their vacation pay at a time, but I mean, I like to know what's going on in this town as a councilor.
Okay, Counselor Despetit.
All right, well, along those lines, I'd like to perhaps streamline our banking system. I know, like, we're still writing checks, for crying out loud. That's stuff of the 60s, the 70s. Our staff should be doing e-transfers, save a little bit of time, save the taxpayers some hours. If we can reform the banking system that we presently have to streamline it and make it more efficient. So that's my number 2.
So I would say mine is Highway 17, which I think came up a lot at the debate. And I guess, I mean, specifically trying to slow traffic down, make speeders accountable. How do we do that?
That's also on my list, Madam Mayor.
It's on mine as well.
Oh, that's 3. That's 3. So go. Okay.
Okay, my next thing is, I'd like to see 2 streetlights at the end of Old Narren Road and Highway 17 intersection.
Like
We have one
lights
there.
or traffic lights, just
Hmm?
like a street light, like a
Street
light
light,
light.
yeah. It's for someone that's not too familiar with it, if you come in there at night, you can't see the intersection until you're in on top of it.
And we have one there, don't we?
We have one.
On the
Yeah.
other side, it's really bright, but it's not.
We have two on McDonald Street. On Old Highway 17.
Okay,
That's a busy intersection there at night. And
yeah, it's busy. It's just
Yeah.
busy. Counselor McVeigh?
I'd like to look into, working with local business owners, just seeing if we could better the dialogue, open dialogue. We've got some key businesses that obviously support, pay lots of taxes, employ people, in the area, and just see what we can.
I think it's a great idea, but I don't think that's anything we need, Counselor CAO to do. Like, that's something that we as counselors could go and visit and just, I think when you were mentioning before, it was basically just visiting.
Just going to them and saying, hey, there's an open dialogue, let's see what we can do. The last thing we would want to do, and I think as like the taxpayers would want to see something happen to the truck stop. You know, is there anything we can do to help them? And I don't even know what we can do. We can't
To
really help,
open a
we
dialogue.
can't really help T-Bell, but maybe there's something to open a dialogue. They're looking at doing something or.
Right, am I
you know,
wrong? That's something we as council can do.
That's
not
Maybe
necessarily-
Colin has some ideas to do.
That could
Yeah.
be a priority.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, I think it's a
our-
great idea.
Our economic development officer could be a big assistance with that.
Because when was the last time somebody's reached out to them, say, hey, we're here?
Yeah.
They pay big taxes, they employ, like, you know.
Yeah.
Comspec's got a big idea coming.
Yeah.
T-Bell's got a big, or the truck stop's got a dozen or 15 employees, that's
Yeah.
big.
No, you're right.
Interfor's got 100 employees.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky to have those
Oh, yeah.
businesses in, whether it be the truck stop. You know, I'm not downplaying the truck stop, it's a big part, vital part of our community.
don't forget our new business,
Couldn't you,
Sagamore.
Zagamuk, yeah.
But a lot of employees.
That's right. But if we, like, you know, when you say where you live in, I know like I'm in the city all the time in Sudbury, you say, oh, I live in there. Oh, yeah, the truck stop.
Yeah.
So it is an important part of our community.
Counselor McDonald?
Yes, the ditching project. In 2003, I wasn't on council then, or yeah, I was, but they were just finishing up the ditching project all there, eh? And it flows past, all around, they can make a big horseshoe there, comes out, across the tracks here by my place, and then up by the bells there, goes through there and around down to the rivers. It needs cleaning out very bad. And what it brought my attention on the news the other night, a township had a bad flooding and they didn't clean their ditches out. And they're liable to have the ditches cleaned out if they have an engineering ditching, and ours is engineering ditching. So we're responsible for flooding. And you look, you come down just before you come from Espanola, just before you get to the truck stop, you look there, you can't even tell there's a ditch there anymore. It's just growing all in. And if you have a heavy rain, it'll push all, and in the swamps, the plants grows and lumps, see, and they could block a culvert up pretty easy. I think it was 2005 when Wayne was reeved. And it cleaned out last time, cleaned out.
It's something to think about. Counselor Dave Petit?
Well, I guess my fourth one is the apple orchard. I think Councillor McVeigh and Councillor Austin already touched a bit on the ballpark area. Maybe the orchard can be part of that modernization of that ballpark area. And they could go all hand in hand, dog park and the orchard on the outside. And so it's something we should be looking at.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's already in the works too.
Yeah, I have
Yes, yes.
I have a small update as well. I spoke with our road engineer just to point me in the right direction of where I would go to get the soil samples done. So he's pointed me towards the correct lab. He's still trying to find what we need to test for. He's gonna get me that, but he said we could dig the holes, we could collect the sample, we could bring it to the lab to save costs. So I don't have a cost yet of how much the sampling is, just because I don't know what we're sampling for yet, but once I have that, so as soon as the snow's gone, we can start working on that.
So excellent.
Yeah, that's good progress.
Excellent.
I
Oh,
guess,
and sorry, one more update. The road engineer was able to find aerial photographs of that area from the 40s or 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit clearer picture of
The dump and.
where that contaminated site
Yeah.
might be, and as opposed, like, it's hard to tell because the roads are not in
Now,
place
Roddy-
yet.
Roddy and I could walk there. and see.
Yeah, so we could take a look at those pictures together and it would give us a much clearer idea. It seems like it's more towards where the municipal garage is now. When you overlay it with a modern map, but it's,
It's pretty
I
well,
would like second opinions on that.
I believe it's pretty well where our building is down by Beefield.
Oh, okay, and that down in there,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Just a little bit more towards the road, I think, just a little bit more. Cause I know when we used to go off the road, we had to go in a little ways.
You know, ways and downhill, yeah.
Yeah, just by the garage. I would say it's straight up from the garage, that's where that's they started.
my next idea is, that, well, it wasn't my idea, it was from campaigning, that when you're coming in from the east, on Highway 17, that we put a sign up saying that Old Erin Road is in, 1 kilometer or wherever it is, because that seems to be the issue, that people are confused. And actually, maybe I can tie this in, tell me if you think it's related. That we have a no truck sign, so we already have a no truck sign. What's the little angle street here,
That's Minto, right? When you come across
Yeah,
and you turn.
or is it
So that's
McIntyre?
McIntyre.
Still McIntyre, yeah.
McIntyre, and then going straight on Smith, there's a no truck sign.
Unfortunately, Smith is part of the truck route.
There's a truck. route.
Yeah, so we can't put a no truck sign on Smith. That's not our road.
So we already have, anyway,
Yeah.
but we could, yeah,
Well, I thought we had talked about, having Interfor put up a bigger sign stating the truck road is 3 kilometers down the road.
Yeah, we could talk.
did we?
Yeah, we
talk
did,
about
I brought it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the same as that, and I'll bring it up again, it's the same as Espanola, right? When you come in, when you get up on top of the, before you get to the
Yeah.
Royal Bank,
Don't
there's a
turn
sign
here.
there that says, don't turn here.
Yeah,
You gotta go down to Gray Street,
yeah.
1.5 of a kilometer.
Mhm.
Any contractors, whatever, are supposed to use Gray Street. Just before the GM garage, and then they put a sign at Gray Street saying, this is your turn,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, as long as we could work in conjunction with MTM for that.
Yeah.
It was easier for us because Center Street's their road.
yeah,
It would be a good
So-
idea.
We'd have to work.
We could pull,
Yeah.
we just go to NCON. and get
whatever the
permission.
process.
Yeah,
is.
I guess we'd be,
That's all you,
so-
I think that's all you
Yeah.
can do.
One more round, Counselor,
I'd like to go 3 more.
okay,
Okay.
He's busy.
yeah,
My next one is the Spanish River Park, which belongs to the provincial government. I would request that they upgrade and make that year round. This is very similar to what they have at the watershed. Because we have, well, you couldn't count the mess in the parking lot at Rainbow,
mhm,
because there's no washroom facilities at night. And there's no washroom facilities at the gas station.
We did ask for that. We lobbied them during COVID for
Yeah.
that.
So we should get
Unfortunately,
a,
for truck drivers, right?
We just lobbied to have that bathroom at
Well, then-
the pull-off open.
if you've ever gone up 144 and see the facilities they have there, it's just unbelievable how nice it is.
Good.
They got room for transports to come in, anybody come in, a waiting area inside to wait while it's cold out, and then you got the washrooms.
Yep. I've been there. Very nice setup.
Nicer than this mess we have down at the river there.
I agree.
Counselor McVeigh,
No, I'm all done, because,
you're good?
Yep.
Counselor
I
McDonald,
just got one more, the landfill site, That consultant, we hired there, I'd like to know what they're doing there, because we're spending thousands of dollars in that landfill site, and I got no idea what they're doing. I know they're checking the well, there's, I think, 5 or 6 wells there, they check every year. But every year it's usually 20,000, 22,000, sometimes it's 6, 9, 12,000. I just have, and I never see nothing what they're doing, like, no reports or nothing. Like, you know, like, what are they doing up there?
There is reports if you wanna see them. I
There
just
is
didn't know
report?
you wanted to see them, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
What you actually, well, you just want to know what's actually happening at the dump.
yeah, yeah, because, it seemed like, we're spending a lot of money. I added up in 2014 to now, it's, 70-some thousand dollars we're spending on the
Yeah.
consultant.
That's a good question. The municipal superintendent has broached them on that, just in the last month about why the costs are going up. They should be going down. Cause our dump is well managed. You'd have to ask him what the response was, cause I can't say it in open council.
Well, that's interesting.
No,
Counselor Despatie?
My last thing was, maybe, if we could get a business board, somewhere in our neighborhood, on the highway, indicating, the businesses that are here. And perhaps, there's some small backyard business that's operating that, might want their name up there, and, just, so our citizens can, know where they can get services.
Yeah, great idea. And my last one is a no Jake break sign. I don't know if that could be enforced or would be enforced.
That was also on my list, but, actually, I probably had a few more than 5.
It's okay. Well. All right, so now the discussion begins. Is there anything that you see as the?
Can I keep going? or-
Oh, okay.
I said I had more than five,
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay, this one, I think everyone will agree. Put together a new resident homeowner package to welcome residents into the town. Maybe just a little bouquet of flowers and some things and information about what is available in the town and who to contact.
I
things like
think we
that.
do have a little bit of something already going with paper information, but a lot of people have mentioned that.
But we need to give this to the people, bring it to them.
Yeah,
Someone do it, even a counselor or whatever.
yeah, I think that would be a
Welcome
great
them to the
idea.
town. So,
And we've seen a lot of growth and people, yeah, people have talked about that. That's a great idea.
that was-
Anybody else have anything other than Counselor Austin? Okay,
You're gonna love me. We look at, getting into purchasing property, the town purchase it so that we can make, if we gotta open up or get a contractor to open up a subdivision, so this town can expand. We don't seem to have a place,
to expand
you
to.
know. So we need to.
Councillor Austin, if I may, I think, that's an excellent idea. And I think it, goes hand in hand with, a motion that I, tried to get through, a few months ago, about obtaining property from either a business or, the provincial government, that they could donate to our town. So your plan is, absolutely on the mark with me. I totally agree with it. If we can't get it for free, maybe we can buy it.
That's something we're gonna look at. The other thing, this is again for employees. I suggest that we put, say, well, our truck's on its way up to San Pedro. I know that. You know, if they're looking for why isn't it plowed or whatever. And for safety, if something happens, you know exactly where they are. It's not a high cost item.
Anything else?
I have one other thing that,
I just want to point out,
Sit down again.
yes, we,
I told you I would be over 5.
okay,
The last one is real simple. In the near future, come spring or summer, I would like all counselors to get together and tour our facilities. So we all know what is there.
Here, here.
yeah, that's a great
Water
idea.
treatment Plant, the.
Yeah, the dump, the garage, the fire hall.
Yeah,
the office.
I've done it on my own. As a matter of fact, when I was campaigning. And I couldn't get into some of the facilities, so I think Councillor Austin, that's a fantastic idea.
Right, I'm done now.
Okay. I mean, we all have lots of ideas. It was just trying to figure out our priorities. So are there any here, or CAO Ketchiba that are minimal or that we would be doing? Like, I mean, maybe the business idea is us approaching local businesses, so that's something that we can just do and isn't, I don't know, does anybody else see anything else like that we can just do and it doesn't have to be a priority for
I
us?
think you want to task it somebody, you don't want each one of us going in and
Yeah,
bombarding the business owner. You know what I mean?
Okay,
You show up and then I show up and
I
then
didn't
Rod shows
think
up.
5 of us were going.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, like,
We don't specify.
Sure,
we gotta get a plan together to say who's doing what, or you're gonna do it all. You know what I mean? Like, and I know, and you give me roll your eyes, I know, I was being sarcastic for you. But I mean, it was, just an idea, right? You just don't want, I know, like in my business, I don't want 3 people showing up saying, hey, we're here to help you out.
so does everyone
Even
like
one
the
at a time or
idea?
together.
Yeah, does everyone like the idea that we approach local businesses and just reach out to them and establish
Yes,
do we need a motion for this?
if you want,
I don't know if, I don't know.
I think, Louisa, our economic development officer, is gonna be doing a small presentation at the next meeting. And maybe that's something that she
Perfect.
could work, like, she's already done it.
Yes, oh, it's perfect.
But-
I reinvent the wheel.
But maybe she could give council tips on what council could do to help.
Good
us.
idea. Good idea.
So would anybody be interested, anyone in particular out of the 5 of us be interested in going? Or, we'll wait for her to come to council next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Are any one of us or 2 of us interested in approaching businesses to establish a relationship?
I would suggest at least 2 of us go together
Yeah,
rather than one person or
yeah, that's
Good idea.
nice.
2. I suggest we go down the list one at a time and talk about it.
Well, right, this is not a priority that,
We're just trying
Yeah,
to get rid of the little things.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
without
there's just
having-
tiny ones. Counselor McVeigh, are you interested in
Yeah.
doing that? I would accompany Counselor McVeigh. Is anybody else interested in going to any of the businesses?
Well, I think 2 is. I think-
No, I
Last
mean,
time I went to a business, I got shit.
okay, let's keep that. Keep it G. Anyone else see anything? There was one thing that had, okay, any other little tiny things that we can just. Apple orchard is already in the works, like we have to wait till spring to test the soil. I would just write spring, because we, and it's already in process.
It's already a project,
Right.
moving forward.
Number 2,
Speeding on Minto?
yeah.
Well,
Did
actually,
we look at Espanola, we used to share a sign with them.
the flashing, yeah.
Yeah.
These are things that we just say, look at it, and then she knows to focus on it, but we at Speeding on Minto had 2 people that agreed with it. Highway 17 was 3 of us, so I think that's the #1 priority. So we
Well,
can-
Madam Mayor, I think we can get everybody to agree on speeding on Minto and everybody to agree on speeding on the highway. I don't think that's an issue.
Does everyone agree? So
Yeah,
those are our
oh, yeah.
top two.
We should be.
We just didn't have that road down in our lists.
I think those are both gonna be worked on with the same people. You contact the OPP and
Agreed.
deal with your, it's because it's a
Yeah.
policing issue.
Which actually, that's already in progress in
We're
this,
kind of already.
yeah, so
The
that's,
Minto Street.
okay, so we've got 1 and 2, where was the other one that I?
Well, that Jake Freight sign kind of goes with the Highway 17.
Yeah, so we
right?
can put that
With
in the
ministry,
2,
yeah.
yes. Yeah. Want to throw this in with number 2 as well, or do you think that's a separate
That's a separate issue because we have to get
Interfor?
Interfor to work on that sign.
Okay, so
But
Council,
even if Interfor said no, could we not put something up?
We could, but we'd have to pay for it. Like, we'd have to pay the Highway 17 MTO sign fees.
Okay.
So,
how much does that go?
Oh, they're,
And that would depend where they'd want to put it.
yeah, depend where we want to put it. We could approach NTO and ask for their suggestion.
Mhm.
So do you want to put that with 2 then? Or,
I
Yeah.
think so.
It's all 17
yeah,
mark, right?
I think that,
If we're gonna go to the police or we're gonna go to MTO, we might
As
as well do it
well.
all with one.
do it on one.
Jump to
shot.
me 3 times, I'm gonna forget you.
so we basically have traffic and safety, speeding, Highway 17, Interfor.
And this one's easy. I can just forward whoever wants to see those reports. The GM,
Councilor McDonald.
Yeah,
the landfill, I can just forward you those reports.
Okay.
But how many years did you want?
well, I can go back to 2003, but I mean, give me a couple of 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years? Okay.
Yeah, that'll
that
give me an
one's-
idea what they're doing and then we're.
Well, it'll give you a better idea of what's going on out there for sure. I just didn't know you were interested.
Can we just schedule,
This one I
is the-
kind of already talked to Aqua about, scheduling, they would, whoever wants to. Attend their training, they thought maybe do it like a couple weeks in between, so it's fresh in everyone's mind, but. Yeah, they thought in the spring, that would be a good time to tour.
Yeah, I don't think that,
That one's easy,
yeah, that's not, and that'll just give us
but
all.
that's water treatment, but the rest we'll have to schedule.
The water treatment plant, will that all be refurbished by the spring?
No, this year, we had some setbacks last year, unfortunately, so this year will be. a Couple big items, as part of that grant, there's a few pumps that. They've identified as big priorities, and we're gonna start engineering for the. Air exchange system, that's also part of that grant, so
Yes,
that will be done this year, but the big work won't be completed till next year,
so
unfortunately.
we'll have an idea of
explain it.
what we're spending the money on.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we want to throw a day lane stop sign into all the traffic stuff?
I think that's ourselves.
That's,
That's
your-
it,
Or
that's,
maybe MTO would be, we would notify them. you're
we'd
doing
have
that.
to notify, cause it's bordering on it. That might even be there, they might even have to put it up, cause I know they do the Ferry Street one. Cause it's in their road allowance,
Okay.
so that could be for number 2. Is that what you
Yeah,
guys-
what-
Let's
yeah,
start
okay.
with that.
I would
I
think
don't
so.
know that I actually agree for the need there.
Well, you don't live at this side. It happens all the
It's
time.
bad,
If
yeah.
people don't pay attention. And that's all what,
Even if you stop there.
even if you stop there and you look, you would expect somebody to be stopping coming up from Gay Lane.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
I
right.
mean,
I think
13
it's the only
years I
place in
expected.
Canada.
And it catches me off guard.
where lane
I saw lots of
right
people
of-
there.
Oh, yeah.
Not me, but.
No, but I've seen, I
Well, I wonder if you're really asking that the stop sign be moved to Gay Lane,
No, I
right?
want another stop, three-way stop.
be a 3-way stop there. That's the way it should be.
That's the
Okay.
safest way.
Safer anyway.
Yeah, I'll look into that if that's our sign or MTOs. I think it's MTOs, but either way.
If they
This
need
probably
a-
doesn't have any, did you talk to CH or whatever about the ones at the train crossing? Were they
I've reached out, no one's gotten back to me.
Okay.
I assume it was HC Rail because they've done the same, like you said,
everywhere?
at
I
Joplin.
noticed like five.
There's a
of them.
bunch of new regulations that came out that require them, so.
But you think they would put signs
You would
before?
think,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because
Not
I
right
did
there.
it through it 3 or 4 times before Angie finally said to me, what are you doing?
well, I didn't know somebody told me.
Yeah. My question is, if we put a stop sign up on the street, do we need a bylaw? To do that?
That is a good question.
I thought we did.
That's a good
Because when
question, Wayne.
They changed it on Ferry Street, Minto Street. I thought they had to, would do it by bylaw,
What's the big deal?
or it is illegal. If you go to court for it, then.
We don't wanna do that.
We'll do
Nothing
it.
illegal.
No. I would suggest we do need a bylaw.
I think so, but
Let the
Okay.
CEO look into that.
I'll look into that.
Yeah. This is just to start the process,
well, this
not
is-
not to
yeah,
finish
It's
it.
a great idea.
Yeah, I'll just put bylaw. Question mark.
Is there any other traffic stuff? Oh, 2 streetlights at the end of Nairn Road. Do we ask about that as we're looking into everything? at
we
the
have
highway
to, you have to
side?
deal with MTO.
Yeah, you have to.
It's an MTO issue.
That's a big project. It maybe should be a
Separate
priority.
thing, because
Yeah.
it would be.
It'd be a big
ahead of-
capital.
On the street line, well, it can't be that,
It's not super,
I know it's
be a
expensive.
few $1,000s for sure.
This new resident welcome package, I don't know if recreation should take that or
If you
council.
want it,
I
definitely.
agree with that, Madam Mayor.
I don't know if, we don't have a huge recreation committee. And they are doing events. I don't, I'm just looking for little, quick things. that-
Simple things.
Yeah, that we can just get off the list.
Yeah, well, I don't see that as being a big, like, I don't mean not.
It'd
a
only be a
priority. I don't mean not a
per
priority.
year.
I think it's a great idea,
Yeah,
so don't take this the wrong way when I say it. But yeah, it's not a big thing and we could definitely put together a little package.
It would be a
Who
little,
would do it?
it would be a little bit of a budget
it's
too.
a budget.
So whether you,
How many people move to Nairn in a year?
no, you're right. I think if I
Aaron
think
and
we
Hyman.
should
I
do,
don't know the traffic
Yeah.
flow in Hyman for changing. the
Well,
road.
probably not.
No.
Probably not right now. but-
So,
Well, I know they're built,
Oh,
we lost you.
Hyman.
we lost you for a minute, Counselor Jay Petit.
Your lips were moving, but we couldn't hear you.
Well, I know there's a few houses being built right now in Hyman Township. So I bet there's half a dozen a year.
Yeah, that's,
You'd have to
Seasonal.
hear it, it's
They're seasonal.
$40-50 for a little package of
yeah,
stuff. And it'd be nice to welcome people into the town.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea.
I never
Um,
got it when I moved in.
Well, you've been here too long now.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
You moved in, moved out, moved back, you probably want
That'd be
two.
just like-
You might get one that you
It should be staff. I think it's either council or recreation. Um,
I'll move the recreation.
Yeah, I agree.
Been seconded.
recreation. We'll have to ask them.
Yeah, it can,
Yeah,
Pass.
anyone else see as our next priority?
Well, and not because it was my idea, the reusing of the ball field, the cleaning up of the ball field,
yeah.
and Guy, don't take this the wrong way. When we call it an orchard, it's 4 trees, people freak out. My neighbor just put
It's
in.
5 trees, come on. How many trees do you need for an orchard? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's what I'm trying to say. My neighbor. just
More
put
than
in
two.
My neighbor just put in 2 and nobody freaked out because he put in 2 apple trees, but we looked at putting in 5 and the world collapsed.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody's
um,
hollering. and-
like-
Well, the media liked the idea, but
Yeah.
not
no,
everyone.
so
So you want
we're gonna plant some trees,
three?
Sure,
but there's a whole, that whole use of that whole area. Let's find out what it works.
Yeah, agreed.
I think was there something down further there? It was also at the ball field, sorry.
Orchard, they could kind of be in. with-
It's
Yeah,
kind of, it's,
yeah.
and it's well on its way, so it's good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, so these two.
Is it, easy to resolve the full-time employees posting their is it hours or then overtime? Those are full-time, either looking at it or.
I don't mind preparing a report, but employee records are
Confidentiality.
confidential. They're protected under MFIPA. If you want to report about a certain project, how many overtime hours,
No,
were
a total,
needed.
like a total. I think was
unfortunately, that's
recommended.
protected.
A total overtime.
If I
hours
told
only?
you which employee worked which overtime hours, it's protected. Yeah. That's an.
So we can get a total overtime hours for the whole,
All employees,
bunch of
yes.
employees, but not individual.
Not individuals.
All
I
right.
can't tell you work who's got extra time either.
No.
I can't
no,
tell you.
I don't
No,
think-
they're protected, unfortunately.
All of a sudden, somebody knows who's.
Can we
And
go-
vacation time as well.
I guess my question is,
So
can we
that-
go by department?
Yeah, but there's only one employee
Well,
almost
there's
in
two.
each department
Yeah.
that works
Yeah,
overtime.
okay, so total for the whole, what you're allowed to have, that's it.
Well, we have to remember too, it's not a budget item, it's a time item. We don't get paid overtime.
Okay,
We
So it
don't.
comes
We get-
out in
We get time
vacation
in
time.
lieu of, and trust me, most of the time we don't have time to take it, so. I can speak from experience, but if you want to report about all of the
Okay,
employees.
I have a
full-time,
question. I just heard, our CAO say that we don't pay overtime, we give time in lieu. Is that correct?
yes,
That is
Do we give time in lieu at time and a half?
after 44 hours.
well,
Okay.
or with.
Yeah.
Plowing, isn't it, if you're coming in, not in your regular schedule?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, so it's time and a half. If you're coming at 5 AM, whereas you would normally.
No, even they start counting at 44 hours.
Oh,
That's the way most outfits work.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that, but I didn't want time in lieu at regular time. That's not right.
You can be working your regular shift Friday, but it's overtime, because you've got your hours into it.
okay, so we, basically, number 3 can't really happen, or number 7, or there's limited information.
It's limited, I
Yeah.
can at least.
So that's, well, we don't have a lot left.
Would suggest, if I may, the next one should be a ditching project. But that's.
Yeah, I assumed you there might be a backstory to the ditching. I mean, it's a big concern
It
in
is a-
town, and I'm sure there's ongoing.
It's always ongoing, but we haven't done a full, the whole system every year. He usually picks a concern area.
What,
and
Yeah,
goes
but,
there.
So that big loop then, would that be?
when I'm talking about ditching the project, it's not ditching of the streets, it's the ditching of the swamps.
water,
Yeah, so
water,
that, we'd have to bring in probably some extra equipment, that's something,
Well,
have to
that's what I meant to
discuss.
ask. Is that a contractor brought in to do that?
Yes.
Because I couldn't see our public works department trying to do that
You
and
can't.
trying to take care of.
No, it's-
you could do
you
some.
could do some, like
Yeah,
some of the
but
ditching
if
that's
you're-
close to the road, but
Is there a consultant that has come in and given us a plan?
not since 2008.
There's an engineer.
Yeah.
They
So
can't do
all
the
of-
office.
Well, 15 years.
Yeah,
What was set up at the time was 1/4 of the project every year. Of the total area. So in 4 years, you would go through and then start over.
Oh,
again.
okay. Well, that makes sense.
continuous. And it wasn't a big cost. I don't know what the cost would be today, but it wasn't that costly at the
Oh,
time.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would we
last
want it
time-
re-engineered, or would we just want it to follow the engineer's plan from 2008?
Yeah, because that's,
Land doesn't change, but sometimes the ditches have. People
Well,
have.
I'd be
altered
on-
it.
The only thing they're gonna do is
Understand
fill in and go in, that's, you clean it.
Well, unfortunately, some people have filled in some of them.
Yeah,
so are we all comfortable making ditching, looking at ditching number 4?
I think
It
that's a
should
great
be.
idea.
Yeah,
Cause that'll be it could be a big project,
No, it is a big problem.
you know, but
Yeah,
I
well,
don't have any
big
comprehensive voice of what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know.
Well, the last time we did it, it was around 20,000. But now it's probably around 50 maybe.
Yeah,
so this is easily being done. Like, or in a limited
I just don't
fashion.
understand what you want from that, like, if I could just get some clarification.
So like-
Hosted vacation.
so like a calendar in the inside of your area, that you can go
Okay.
look and say, okay, the CEO is off, the first week of August. Okay, so I don't even need to bug her, I guess. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking.
No, I'm just going by, when I was working, I had to put my holidays down and that's your holidays. But if you want to change, you can change.
Yeah.
But you know, it gives me an idea when you're on holidays. And I give you an example. When a taxpayer calls me and say, how come there's only one in the office today? I can't give them an answer. I said, well, they're probably overtime off or
But
holidays or
yeah.
something, eh?
But that's a standard answer that I
Yeah.
think we have to give
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah,
You say,
I
"Oh,
can't say."
She's gone to the doctor's
No.
office.
No, but I mean, if the holiday's there, then we know she's
On
on
the
holiday.
office, yeah.
Councillor McDonald, do you actually get calls from people that say that we only have one person in the office?
No, what do you mean one person in the office?
And
Well,
somebody's not there.
You just,
Oh,
you
yeah.
just said that,
Yes, I
that you
do
get
get calls.
calls.
I do get
Well-
called, and I come, Mr. Patsy, I come to the office quite often, there's only one there. So it's my concern too, as a taxpayer and as a counselor. I'm a counselor, I'm accountable to the taxpayers, and that's what I'm doing. Same thing with the budget. You found out the last time you were at that course, the budget, you're supposed to look at, it, not after you just pass it, you said you don't want no more to do with it. Well, I'm doing my job by looking at the budget. You were at that course. And the mayor was at that court, Wayne Austin, Counselor Thing was there. You saw that. I was doing my job and you were criticizing me.
No,
Well,
I didn't criticize you for looking at the pennies, okay? What I said was that I didn't have time to do that. That's what I said
Oh,
at
okay.
that meeting, yeah.
we also have.
In any event,
Counselor Despatie, we just have to be careful to not micromanage as
Yeah.
well. That's.
actually,
We
I
have a
totally
role,
agree with that.
And I don't see what the problem would be if we only had one person in the office. Or I don't even mind if the office is closed occasionally if there's a conflict. Especially if we have where someone may have time owing, that's not booked a vacation. They may have stayed late before a town council meeting or gotten reports ready under a deadline. I think there's an element of trust that we have to have. Counselor Despatie, was there something you wanted to say?
No, I agree with that, Madam Mayor. I am not a micromanager. I totally agree that if our employees work extra time and they're allowed time in lieu, that's fine. However, it does bring me to one of my my suggestions that we have an extra employee to assist with the workload of the CAO and Melanie, our clerk. So
So
That's
that's
my,
one of our, because we're looking for number 5. What do we think out of everything that's left? Can you see that, Counselor Despatie, the list?
I can't see the list, no.
I can see it, but
Maybe I'll read it then. So everything that's left is increase office staff, streamline banking systems, streetlights at the end of Old Nairn Road, Spanish River Park, business board, purchasing property, and GPS on vehicles.
So,
These can all come up in time, but we're just looking for. number
Madam
five.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yes,
I can't see why we couldn't do everything that's on our list.
Yeah.
It is to the benefit of all our taxpayers. Why can't we do it? We'll do it all. We have 4 years to do it.
do you want to speak to it?
sure,
Councillor McVeigh?
I'm just thinking this whole plan of this is to get stuff in order. So we aren't bombarding, like Councillor Despartie wants a third employee, I'm in agreement with, but right now we have 2. If we throw all these ideas at those 2 people, they'll be gone. And I guarantee you, as you look over in Baldwin and you look at other municipalities in the area, you're not gonna find 2 more. They're piling up. If we give them 22 things to do this week, and because I'm gonna pick on Councillor Despartie, but he understands, I'm just picking on him for fun. His 9 ideas, he's only got 5, not Councillor Austin.
The idea guy.
So now I'm picking on everybody fair, so it's okay. They couldn't do it, so we're just trying to prioritize, and some of them I see as simple things, some of them like the GPS, it's a great idea. Maybe our CEO goes back and she says, yeah, we can do that, here's the cost,
Yeah.
comes up at council
Promote
meeting,
budget.
that's a
Yeah.
2-minute. And I say 2 minutes,
No,
I understand way more than that by the CEO's time. We can't bombard them with 22 things or we'll get nothing done. This is a great meeting to start from 1 to 5, and there's 4 or 5 little things, and I'm not belittling anybody on their ideas, because I think they're all great. But then we can work on the 5 little ones after, or at least get a project or a list in place to start. Yeah, and you know, if.
Councillor McVeigh, I totally agree with you, and I don't think this meeting is to overload our CAO. I think this meeting was brought forward to take steps to make our town better. And I totally agree with it, and prioritizing what needs to be done is excellent. But like I say, there's no reason why we can't do it all in 4 years. We have 4
Yeah.
years to do it.
That's right.
In fact, I think we can look at most of these, you know,
Be
even,
next level.
yeah,
No, it's great,
and I think if we get used to this kind of format, we can do this again in 6 months, right? Or however, whenever we're done the initial 5, we look at it again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how
Wow.
long it
So we're
takes.
getting 7 new staff is what the mayor wants.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So,
just gonna go and put a 5 up there.
Yeah.
so we need a 5, a number
I
5.
may suggest something like the Spanish River Park. All it is a letter, and hopefully our MPP comes down this way and we can talk to him.
Does it seem that simple to you?
Well, a letter
Yeah.
is a simple step. It does take a bit of research, though, like I'm not a professional letter writer, so
No, but
it does take me like I'm not gonna lie, a couple hours to
Yeah.
get a professional looking letter
Well,
going.
we want
Yeah.
to.
Why don't we all just go around and say what we think the number 5 issue should be? And so am I right that you're saying the Spanish River Park?
Well, I'm saying that because
It's quick.
it's quick
It's
and
easy.
it's not a cost to us.
Well, it's time. That's the real
Well, I
commodity
know, but
here.
it's not,
It's not
like it's
costing
gonna
us
take her a
anything.
week to do that.
No.
I'm hoping that our MPP comes to this area and our councilors approach him when he's
You want to
here.
put MPP beside it and to MPP, just for my own reminders.
And, the streetlights, I think, should be with number 2.
Well, our CAO just thought that might be really involved with it being Highway 17, the MTO. But
Everything
that I
else we have
think is
there
the last safety issue. That's. So I mean, if we want to make safety a priority, I get, you know, or you feel that that's unsafe enough that we need to make that a priority. Counselor McVeigh, would you? Anything you want to weigh in on?
No, I'm thinking all the rest of the things we could easily tackle after. We've got a list of 4, we need a 5th, or proceed.
We don't
List of
even
5,
need, we don't
But
even
there's a
need
bunch of
5.
great ideas up there that we can definitely tackle over the next 4 years. And some of them will be easy.
Yeah, this isn't a 4-year plan,
Oh, we're gonna come back in a year and then try it again.
even less. This is just. Counselor McDonald. For number 5.
Well, I think that ditching project is pretty, I don't know if we got it
It's
down there.
there already.
It's all there,
It's number 4.
Okay,
It's there.
because I know people got basement water nowadays, and if that don't flow properly, they get water in their basement.
Anything else for number 5?
Nothing.
Counselor Despatie, number 5, what do you think?
I'll go with Councillor Austin's suggestion of the lights there.
Was it the lights that
Street lights.
you were saying? Okay, I'll go in with that too. There we go. Yeah, I just think nothing may come of it. They may refuse it. We don't know. We're just looking at it.
For that one though, could somebody come in and look at our street light map and just maybe indicate where you think the best location is? Cause like your input matters. Like I can drive down there and
Well,
I could have a totally different idea
Yeah,
of
well,
where
they're
that
gonna
is.
suggest something. It's gotta be on the north side of the highway.
Right, you have it.
Why don't you go pick it out, Councillor Austin? I request that you go
Oh,
pick it
you
out.
go in the snow and pick it out.
Yeah.
No
So
way,
north-
thank you.
Side of
I'm in the
Highway
sun.
17?
Yeah,
On the opposite side to where the one is
Yeah,
now.
it's on the south side, the one now.
yeah.
Okay.
So if they put it on the east or west side of Old Darren Road, it
Is
doesn't
there a
matter. As long as
preference?
it improves it, eh?
It would be whatever's easier, because there's gonna be an incurred cost probably to the municipality as well, from that, would there be?
Huge, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty large because you'd have to see where the hydro lines are and maybe try to get it close. to
Well,
that.
they're gonna feed it off the other street line. So
Let's-
probably
Never
the
gonna
west
be that
side of,
easy,
So there'd be we'll go across the highway?
yeah, that's what they do. That's,
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with streetlight processes and sort of, other than putting new bulbs in them.
if we want to get technical, you could hang an orange light, flashing light there because it's a terrible intersection.
Oh, it is terrible.
Transport's pulling out of there and especially.
Do
some-
we want that on the list as well?
No, I won't get the gap. I don't know if you want to go that. The would definitely,
It is a bad intersection.
I guess you could put it on the list then. Then they can turn it.
I
off.
think so.
Yeah, if they would, if you suggested, they're gonna look
We
at
might
it.
go, we might go for a light and they might go with the orange one, at least we got something.
Yeah.
You know, they may turn down your light because
The
it's.
new ones they put at McDonald Street is perfect.
Yeah,
Beautiful. I think they're white.
they're nice lights. The
Yeah.
one,
You
the
can
one
see.
at Old Darren Road doesn't even seem to be bright enough to start with.
Oh, it could be an old bulb in it then.
No, that's all the new lights.
It's
It's
a
a
new light
halogen?
system
Yeah.
there, yeah, but it is.
It's them low. I don't know what you call them. They don't pollute the air with the lights.
All right, anything anyone wants to add? So maybe I'll just review, speeding on Minto is our number 1. Highway 17 is number 2 with an Old Narren Road sign to turn with it, no Jake brakes. Stop sign at Gay Lane and Smith as well in number 2, so a lot of highway safety, driving stuff. Number 3 is the ball field. And we're dealing with the back. The apple orchard with that as well. Number 4 is the ditching. And number 5 is the street light on Old Narren Road. So these are we also covered, new resident welcome package. Touring facilities in the spring. I'm missing anything, landfill details are being sent out. And so we decided not to do the Spanish River Park.
That's gonna be a letter.
A letter?
That was just a letter.
So we'll just put that in as 5 feet, yeah, so the list is getting longer.
Well, I guess if you look at purchasing property, that's a letter too, that somebody.
That's a
Well,
lot of.
We have,
Before, right?
yeah, we
After
did
come
send
up with that.
one, so I think we need to. I think that's lots to work on, and I'm sure you'll get that all done.
Do you
real
want a resolution?
quick.
I don't think we should. I think we should just work on it.
Okay,
If you go and, what
dictate,
we're trying to do is specify something. Well, you gotta do this first, then this, and then this. But we can't
well,
do we can't do number 4.
but we
because
do need
just
to
did
have a
3.
resolution for you to
Well,
know to do
Yeah.
something, don't we?
Yeah, like I could just summarize what the 5 priorities were. If you
Sure.
wanted
Sure.
that in a resolution.
Sure, and then we'll pass that. I think it was really great ideas. I have more, but actually, I gotta be honest, all my ideas came from campaigning. There's a lot of repeats. So,
And you didn't tell me you had one, right? It's the way to-
yeah, you, I said,
Look at your list.
Yeah,
what's that?
I said, look at your list.
Yeah. It was the best thing. I think I might go door to door again in a couple of years, just to, because everybody's not at home. when
No,
you go
that's what I
anyway.
called, I didn't campaign this time. I said, I'll leave it up to the taxpayer this time, but. I mean, you go around, you get a lot of good ideas.
Yeah. Which, people care, that's good.
but this was great to get these out and everybody.
It is a
thinking
great
of the
idea.
same thing.
You don't need to be bombarding
No,
the
No, no.
CFO and the staff with, everybody's got 7 or 10 ideas, well, the poor staff.
Yeah. Well, and I also
Take it one
think,
at a time,
Yeah, but your ideas are important to you, my ideas are important to me, at least this way here, we have a resolution for an idea that yours and my idea were important to us and they're correct. Everybody else agrees.
I agreed with you. You looked after Vintage. I didn't have to.
There you go, yes, yeah,
I agree with Meadow Street, that's terrible.
it is. And you know what, lately it seems to be getting faster. I do not understand.
Wait till the next weather.
I know,
Yeah.
but you get 3 o'clock today, just sit in your driveway.
Yeah, I
Who
know.
will fall, it'll fall, go sit in my driveway at 3 o'clock.
At shift change.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We should get some speed bumps on that Minto Street.
Oh, then you gotta plow around.
There's already enough of them on it.
Yeah, there's enough of them there, no.
okay, here's the resolution, whereas council has reviewed the other business items shared by Mayor Maisy requesting a discussion regarding the top 5 issues. And therefore be it resolved that council directs that the top 5 priorities of the township are speeding on Minto, number 2, Highway 17 safety, lowering speed limit, etc. Number 3, repurposing the ball field. Number 4, ditching. Number 5, streetlight north side of Highway 17 and Old Narren Road. Who would like to move that?
I'll move that.
Well, I did Counselor McVeigh. Will you second it?
I will.
All in favor?
In favor.
That is carried. Excellent work. How long did that take us? And we have a
Confirmatory.
little over an hour. So be it resolved that being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council of the corporation of the township of Narren-Hyman be read a first, second, and third time and finally be passed. An open council and its number shall be 2023-7. Who would like to move that? And Councillor McDonald, all in favor?
In favor.
That's carried. And then that the meeting of February 27th, 2023 do now adjourn at 3:40 PM to meet again on the 13th day of March 2023, or at the call of the mayor. Who would like to move that? Second it, McVeigh, Councillor McVeigh, all in favor?
In favor.
That's carried.
Done.
A little over an hour. We were